Hello, this is Pilimestra doing a Rome Total War multiplayer commentary battle. 2 vs 2 battle. I'm playing as the Julii Romans, and my opponent across from me is the Brutii, which is using a archer and especially a Praetorian heavy cavalry heavy force. I have 5 urbans, 4 Triarii, 4 light auxilia, and 3 Praetorian calves. So I'm out-calved, so I'm gonna hide my cavalry for now while advancing. My ally is the Selucid Empire. I'm going to get to them a little bit later, but the second enemy is Carthage, which is cut off a little bit. It's basically a cavalry heavy force as well. Now the Brutii are close to me and my ally, so we're going to advance immediately on him. And since my ally is closing the ranks close to me, to my army, I'm going to transfer my 2 Triarii units from my right flank to the left flank. So my plan here is to use those 4 Triarii units to protect my army from those that big 7 units of heavy cavalry, while protecting my own 3 cavalry units. I'm trying to catch up here, and with my ally running up to make sure we can engage before our enemy's ally can join the battle. At this point, my enemy here, the Brutii, is deciding to charge with the majority of his cavalry, charging my ranks, and I'm focusing my 4 light auxiliary units fire on these cavalry units, and I'm going to send in most of my Triarii units as well. Obviously, this is a decisive point in the battle. Can I stand this pressure and rout those Praetorians? The Brutii are definitely we definitely have the upper hand. And as you can see, the general dies, which causes the rout. And also getting some good support from my ally here with his cataphracts. Seeing the decisive moment, he decides to support me, and together we are able to rout those Praetorians, and we are now able to engage the rest of the Brutii. Meanwhile, the 3 elephant units of the Carthaginians have reached my army, and I try to keep my urbans away. I decide I gotta get my urbans away and engage those elephants with my light auxiliary units and my 4 Triarii units. So right now I'm focusing on killing off those elephants before the rest of the Carthaginians arrive, while keeping my cavalry and my urbans out of the way. My ally, the Selucids, is resting his troops after this initial barrage, especially his cataphracts, so they can be fresh when the rest of the Carthaginian army arrives. So that's what's going on right here. As you can see, my Praetorians are lumbering around, not having much to do, while my lighty units are chasing those elephants. And as you can see, they're taking quite a licking, but they're also giving it away. This was a no rules battle, which is basically a 30k match per team. Any number of units or any selection of units was allowed. So here I am. I'm basically at this point redeploy my army with my 5 urbans to face off against the sacred bands coming in, the Carthaginians. And now I'm moving my Praetorians further away from those elephants. One of the units has engaged my battle line, and I'm content with that. I don't feel that I have to do anything special. The rest of the cavalry units that the Carthaginian players has at his disposal is not engaged, so I don't feel that I have to engage him. So the more time I get to kill off those elephants, the better, and the more time we get to rest our troops, the better. Not much going on here. Obviously, I didn't really see see this little attack here, but that's basically 2 light cavalry units attacking my 3 heavy cavalry units. So was not really much of a match, and my ally is activating his cataphracts also, but it wasn't really needed. So at this point we've routed basically all of the Carthaginian cavalry, including those elephants in the back there that you see running amok at this point. So right now the Carthaginian player has engaged most of his infantry units and moving my cavalry behind, of course, with some hammer and anvil strikes. It's just a matter of time now until these infantry units are defeated. Some of my light auxiliary troops have been able to support my right flank, and so does my allies' cataphracts. So at this point, here goes the general, and the game is, or the battle is basically over at this point. There's one or two struggling units, but to sum it up, battle was won mainly because we were able to use both of our armies against the Brutii, and then prepare to face the second enemy army. And doing so, the key was beating those Praetorians. After that, it was we had the strong upper hand, and we were able to come up with victory. So if you ever play online and you get a chance to focus your army or part of your army, or together with an ally army, engage part of the enemy and focus your strength while not engaging the other part of the enemy, that's always a good choice. It's a fundamental principle of a war, to use the power of local superiority. Okay, that was the last Brutii unit, and that concludes this battle. So here are the results. I had 678 kills, 429 remaining, and Alekseyll, my ally, had 448 kills.